Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. We've got Donald here, guys, with a Bitcoin update. Now, originally, he posted this on April the 14th, looking for a Bitcoin going above 90,000, he says, and then we get a full send. So are we there yet? Generally, if Trump walks his tariffs back now, again, remember, this was April 14th, it looks like they've largely failed. I expect a full send here, just even more sure of it if we cross the $90,000 line. Then down here, he said, we are so close. That was on April the 21st. And now, guys, 19 hours ago, April the 22nd, he said, at resistance now, I generally dislike breakdowns or breakouts. That immediately retests the trend. But this is now what we're looking at. So BTC going up just past 91,100 per coin. And then another update as of 49 minutes from me recording this. Cute. I love it when old ranges get reclaimed like this. So, guys, we are finally here. BTC at 93,600 as of the time of this recording. And you guys can see if I throw this on the hourly. Yesterday, we were trading in and around 88,006. And Bitcoin has seen a massive surge, massive surge in popularity. Now it's up near 93,600 per coin. So it did go as high as 94.5. And it's funny, Don Alt was saying, if Donald Trump does reduce or backtrack on the tariffs with China, maybe we will see this. Well, 10 hours ago, Donald Trump says U.S. tariffs on China will be reduced substantially. In short, Donald Trump says he believes a tariff deal with China could happen pretty quickly. The U.S. president signaled that he would cut his 145% tariff on Chinese imports substantially, but did not clarify by how much. So what is next? Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said in a private speech that trade negotiations between the U.S. and China were yet to formally start. So nothing has started quite yet. However, it seems as though Don Alt has pretty much nailed it, and Bitcoin is now moving. Now I have I'm not necessarily saying that this is the only reason why. I'm bringing up the S&P 500 here on the daily. Yesterday we did see bullish activity on the S&P. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is the same thing. Also the NASDAQ here. So all markets were also moving up yesterday. But guys, crypto was the biggest gainer here. Fear and greed. Remember yesterday? Where were we at yesterday? That's still positive, guys. Fear and greed, that's up to 38. The market cap is seeing a gain of about 0.5%. We were at 38 yesterday. Okay, I took a clip from yesterday's video, and now we are at 52. So we gained 14 points since yesterday at 52, smack dab in neutral territory. Guys, we're going to see this continue to move higher as we do see more tailwinds affect the market. Look at that, market cap up by over 6.2% and volume up by over 6.4%. Bitcoin is taking the lead though, so altcoin season not seeing too much in regards to the altcoins. But guys, XRP also did shoot up yesterday as of the time of the recording yesterday. It was about 24 hours ago. XRP was only trading in around $2.10. And XRP today currently is trading in around $2.27, reaching a high of about $2.30 just over the last couple of hours. So the macro moves are checking out. XRP is moving up higher, and Bitcoin has become now the 5th largest global asset, surpassing Google's market cap. Bitcoin surpassed Google in market cap as crypto did break out against tech and key benchmarks. This marks the highest position Bitcoin has ever attained in the rankings, even though its market cap previously exceeded $2 trillion when its price was over 109,000. So that's an important thing to note there, even though it was higher before. Currently, market cap is actually larger. At this time, or at that time, however, tech stocks were significantly more elevated than they are at the moment. So that's the other thing, right? The market has taken a bit of a dip, and this is why we're also seeing comparatively Bitcoin doing better. Bitcoin has just broken above 94,000, turning positive for the year. Renewed optimism is emerging amid easing tensions with the U.S.-China tariff trade war. So that's another key indicator that we're looking at now. Technically, Bitcoin has now moved above key resistance levels that were noted on Tuesday. Additionally, it has set a new record relative to the NASDAQ, indicating a breakout not only against major tech indices, but also across a range of key asset classes. So gold, Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Bitcoin is up there, guys, above Google. Check that out. So I guess Nvidia, we're coming for you next, baby. And who is saying that crypto is not going to change the world? I mean, does the European Bank think they're trying to trick anyone? David Schwartz here posted this. I had to laugh at this. The European Central Bank warns Trump's pro-crypto stance could trigger financial contagion that may destabilize Europe's economy, according to Politico. That sounds like fear-mongering to me. The ECB fears that a surge in US-backed stablecoins could lead to a flight to European capital into the United States. Aww. Wouldn't that be a shame? I mean, there's so much going on at the moment. I think, now that we're kind of at the precipice of a brand new financial system and, the Trump administration is kind of moving full force on this, it is no surprise, or it should not be a surprise, that this could in fact change investor behavior and more money will flow into the United States. I mean, I think this was all part of the plan, on top of which Paul Atkins did just make, his incoming speech. New chair Paul Atkins said Bitcoin and crypto will be his top priority. This is Paul Atkins, the new chair of the SEC in the Oval Office. Listen to this.
Well, thank you all very much, and especially thank you, Mr. President. I'm really honored by your trust and confidence that you've placed in me to head the SEC. But I really must say the Oval Office has never looked better. One could really describe it as glistening, and I've heard stories about it, and it's true. It's the touch of a confident president leading with optimism towards an American golden age. So thank you for that. And so to my wife, Sarah, and to our sons, Stuart, Peter, and Henry, thank you all for your steadfast love and support. I'm grateful for the sacrifices that each of you have made to enable me to serve America. And thanks to Secretary Bessent for administering the oath as well. But a note about my family real quickly. Today would have been my father's 114th birthday. Colonel Atkins was a veteran of World War II and Korea. And yesterday would have been my late mother's birthday. So it seems altogether fitting to honor them and the example that they've set so that their son could stand here speaking to you all today. So to my friends, my family, my colleagues who've worked with me throughout my career and helped make my appointment by President Trump even possible, thank you for your work and dedication. There are many who quietly serve the nation in mostly unsung roles, and I continue to be the beneficiary of your professionalism and good judgment. So at the helm of the SEC, I can confidently say it is a new day. It's time for the SEC to end its waywardness and return to its core mission that Congress set for it: investor protection, fair, orderly, and efficient markets, and capital formation. I will work to protect investors from fraud, keep politics out of how our securities laws and regulations are applied, and advance clear rules of the road that encourage investment in our economy to the benefit of Americans. A top priority of my chairmanship will be to provide a firm regulatory foundation for digital assets through a rational, coherent, and principled approach. We will work to ensure that the United States is the best and most secure place in the world to invest and to do business. So, Mr. President, again, thank you very much for your graciousness in extending such a warm welcome to my family and me today in this storied room. I look forward to working with you, with colleagues in your administration, and with Congress to advance your agenda to bolster the economy and build on U.S. leadership of the global market. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, a great speech. It's great to hear Paul Atkins looking to turn the page on the former administrative disaster that was the former SEC under Gary Gensler. And notice at the about at the 2-minute mark what he said there.
A top priority of my chairmanship will be to provide a firm regulatory foundation for digital assets through a rational, coherent, and principled approach. We will work to ensure that the United States is the best and most secure place in the world to invest and to do business.
So there you go. For digital assets specifically, calling out that specific facet of what the SEC is going to be doing. Great clip there. I mean, lots of great news. This was also just in from Smoke, April 22nd, 2025. So this was yesterday. If you guys are watching this video on the day that I'm releasing it, statement released by Rodney Hood, acting controller of the currency. Okay. So he's the acting controller. National banks and federal savings associations are well positioned to support crypto asset activities. So again, on the heels of what Paul Atkins was saying, clear rules of the road. So supporting well-positioned crypto asset activities from within the federal regulated banking sector using stablecoins for payment activities is now legally permissible.
Digital assets are firmly ingrained in the financial services landscape. Today, more than 50 million people own cryptocurrency, and hundreds of businesses engage in cryptocurrency and require banking services. National banks and federal savings associations are well positioned to support crypto asset activities from within the federally regulated banking sector. I'm pleased that recently the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency clarified that certain crypto-related activities, including crypto asset custody, holding deposits as reserve-backing stablecoins, and using distributed ledger technology and stablecoins for payment activities are all legally permissible. The OCC also confirmed its expectation that banks conducting novel crypto activities do so with appropriate risk management processes in place. This action reduces regulatory burden, encourages responsible innovation, and enables banks to leverage new technology and innovative ways to serve their clients and customers. To learn more, visit occ.gov.
So as Smoke does say here, okay, the RLUSD and XRP are now legally authorized to be used by U.S. federal institutions. And guys, this is coming directly from the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. So much is changing. And, this is probably also why we're seeing, the crypto market starting to boom, considering a lot of this focus is on the crypto space. Now, Huntington Bank in Michigan accepts the Iraqi dinar, the Indonesian rupiah, and the Vietnam dong. That's a pretty small bank. And considering they're dealing in such exotic fiat currencies, makes me wonder.
All right, some really interesting news that I just got from my good friend up in Michigan. And it's about this Huntington Bank that's in Michigan that my friend Devin White, he tweeted about. I told him to, but he had heard that the Huntington Bank, it's a local small bank, is going to be accepting the Iraqi dinar. Now, I tweeted this, looks like small banks will be accepting the dinar. I know we've heard about that it would be Basel III only or big banks. And I heard about that basically that they're going to kick it down to the small banks too, because they just don't really can trust the big banks still yet. Now, if you hit this link, it will take you to their web page. Here they got the foreign currency and everything, and I also posted my answers from, if you go to ChatGPT and ask, does Huntington Bank accept the Iraqi dinar? Yes, Huntington Bank accepts Iraqi dinar for both purchases and redemptions. Blah, blah, blah. It gives you, eligibility, ordering currency. The fees are like $15 a pop. Limits, you can exchange up to 20,000 in foreign currency per transaction. Processing time, 7 to 10 days. I'm sure that could be expedited, whatever. But so this is wild. This is really good stuff. Now, here's what's really throwing us a loop here, my friend Devin and I. So a minute ago, if you were to hit on this link that I tweeted, it would take you, instead of it taking you to now, where it takes you to this foreign currency page, as it would normally, as the link would work. It basically, when we were looking at this, it had this up. Look, we are currently experiencing system issues. Now, this was just about a half hour ago. And since in our tweets, we basically were talking, I was like, oh my God. And we're like, here, yeah, there's the proof. We have the screenshot. And I was like, crazy we caught that, because maybe they're just fixing some things, for tomorrow's RV.
It's a good question. I mean, I'm more surprised that such a small bank accepts these exotic fiat currencies. I did not think there was a Ripple net connection to Huntington Bank, but apparently Huntington Bank and Ripple have a relationship that focuses on early career development and financial education. So this is a Campus Forward Award winner by Ripple Match, for strong programs recruiting. I think they have a division that does focus on learning, but financial education down here. Huntington Bank has been involved in grant funding and initiatives that provide financial education to senior populations in communities. They give an example there, working with service coordinators to plan engaging opportunities, and Ripple as a tech partner. So while the primary connection is through Ripple Match's recognition of Huntington Bank's campus programs, Ripple itself is a provider of enterprise blockchain solutions for payments and has partnerships with companies like MoneyGram to modernize payment systems. And I think that that partnership for MoneyGram was from before. Nevertheless, guys, Ripple does have a connection, a very apparent connection with Huntington Bank. So, seeing even now the smaller banks leveraging RippleNet for these transactions. I think, now we're going to start to see more of this, considering the Office of the Controller of the Currency is saying, okay, we're good to go. Paul Atkins is also very crypto positive. So guys, what is next? Riz here posting this. This is the CEO of Tukrium. Okay, they just released an XRP ETF. Sal Gilberti, he just made the rounds talking about XRP specifically. He was even going around debunking myths. Listen to this.
We hear a lot about regulatory clarity, but what is the regulatory clarity that you want to see?
Well, I think they need to put regulatory clarity over Ripple, over the issuers of the coin, and Ripple's asking for that. Ripple's a company of really professional people working really hard on this. That's why we chose XRP. We believe in XRP. We're not making a price prediction, but we do believe it's a coin that will have the most utility out there. Bitcoin is a store of value. I agree with Mike McGlone, but I think that XRP has a true use case. There's just no doubt about it. And the Ripple team, from the interaction we've had with them, they're really professional. They act like investment bankers over there. They know what they're doing, and they will make this work. And we will see a different Wall Street. We will see traditional finance be merged slowly with DeFi, DeFi, yes. And then we will see DeFi take over. It'll take longer than people think. I'm convinced of it, but it will be so much more efficient. And, 3 to 5 second settlement, which is what Ripple can do. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, I want to dig in specifically on the use case that you mentioned, because a lot of folks watching probably would have the reaction. The only use case for Ripple and some of these other tokens out there is speculation. So what is the actual use case of XRP?
Okay, so XRP, that's absolutely not the case. You can speculate in it because it's out there and trading. But XRP, they started Ripple, and I'm not going to speak for them, okay? But they started Ripple to facilitate transactions, moving money around, okay? But now it's literally helping tokenize everything. As they develop their level 2 build out, they are really going to tokenize everything. They've just bought a broker-dealer clearing member, as you may know, and I think that's the first step toward integrating traditional finance with DeFi. And I'm telling you, this is going to be a breakthrough. It is a breakthrough, but it'll happen slower than people think.
A breakthrough, but happening slower than people think. I don't think too many people like that comment. Down here, Matt M saying, how long ago was this? Good morning, crypto saying today. Ronnie saying, yeah, I saw the interview live. He's serious about XRP. It was a great clip. He's right. The Ripple team is impressive, says Maria. Patorian Nova saying, Warriors, the truth is undeniable. XRP's utility is unmatched, paving the way for a new era of finance. The world will witness our rise as XRP outshines the rest. And Jungle Link also posted this clip. Wow, that's good stuff. I'm all in it, says the XRP fix, but I don't like that he said it'll happen slower than people think. That's debatable. I think, I mean, I guess he's depending on which people. Does he think the XRP community thinks it's going to happen with the flip of a switch? Or is it going to happen over weeks, months, maybe a year or two? What's driving XRP's ledger rapid tokenization? So just on the heels of that, Jasmine Cooper did just do an interview with Tony Edwards. The link is right here. If you guys want to catch the Thinking Crypto podcast, I will link this in the description of the video. And here's what she had to say about tokenization. Remember, she's the head of product at Ripple X. Listen to this.
So tokenization, is kind of the beginning of the life cycle for any sort of on-chain finance. So if you want to do stablecoin payments, you first need stablecoins. If you want to do real estate investment diversification, you first need an on-chain real estate token or something along those lines. So tokenization is really the beginning of everything when it comes to RWA and institutional DeFi. We're really just trying to increase the utility and lower barriers to entry for institutions. So one proposal we put out recently is called multi-purpose tokens. You can think of that along the lines of a semi-fungible token. That standard allows for developers and token issuers to attach metadata directly to the token object on chain versus the traditional or legacy fungible token on the XRP ledger. So by allowing a standalone object, this is better for, say, a bond where you want to store the terms and the duration, the interest rate on that on-chain object. So we're really trying to look at these use cases and make sure we have the building blocks and the standards to best support them and give a best-in-class experience when they bring TradFi onto blockchain.
So the team over there at Ripple X is working very hard to make this a reality. I think, Sal Gilberti, he does make a good point. Ripple is setting themselves up. They're purchasing, they did just purchase Hidden Road, the prime brokerage firm. In 2023, they also purchased Medico for crypto custody. So Ripple is setting themselves up to be a one-stop shop. How quickly this is going to happen? Well, guys, that is part of what we're evaluating for this particular bull run. For more information on what I think is going to happen, follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel, because, we've got Sal Gilberti here saying, it could take longer. Are we going to see real-world utility in 2025 or not? Should we be waiting? Should we be holding for higher highs? Or should we really be cashing out and then buying back in low when the bear market is done? Again, I'm posting my thoughts over there at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. I also just wanted to mention that I do have a brand new merch store, 20% off for the month of April. If you guys are interested, this is my favorite piece of merchandise here, the dark chocolate brown Bearable Guy hoodie. I think I'm going to get one for myself. 20% off right now at the Working Money Channel merch store. The link is in the description of the video. Guys, that's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.